and welcome to the home of the Hawk City Bandits with your host, Preston.
Audrey.
Cynthia.
And Matt Jones.
So today we have some special guests from CUP, which is Coffee Uniting People. We have, let's see, you want to introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm Jane Leveroni.
And Cindy Sexton.
Well, it's very nice to meet you both. So this is not going to be our normal show today. This is more about about Cindy here and Jane, just kind of asking questions about, how, the business is run, just kind of the questions we have, and they'll be answering. So next week we'll be back to our regular show, but this week is going to be all about them. So we are going to send you into a quick music break, and then we'll be back to talk about this.
Yay.
Okay, hi guys, welcome back. So today on the show here, we have our special guests, Jane Leveroni and Cindy Sexton from
Woo!
CUP, Coffee Uniting People.
Yay! So excited.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically it's just kind of a Q&A type of day. So we are just going to be asking them questions, about, the business and different things like that. And, we each have our own questions here. So it's, like I said, it's a Q&A, and we're just going to have some fun today. It's not our usual show. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to see, what we have coming up with the next hour here. So we are going to send you into a music break. And when we come back, we are going to hop straight into our questions.
We're not going to go to the music break right now. We're going to go
Okay.
straight into the asking
questions.
right now.
Okay.
Can't wait. No more music.
Okay, so I got a few questions here. We can kind of bounce back and forth, but I'm just going to ask two, and then we can go back to Andre, and then I'll continue with my questions. We can go back and forth. So the first question is, I know it's more of a statement now that I heard that you guys are opening up a store or planning to in Wesley Chapel, because I was just going to ask, because I live in the New Tampa area, and I'm constantly in the Wesley Chapel and Lutz area, so that is good to know that you guys in the future will be opening up there, because I definitely want to check that out.
Preston, we got to ask them what the company is, and what are their roles in the company.
Okay. So guys, what are your what are your roles in the company? What do you guys do?
Allow them to introduce themselves.
I'll go first. CUP is an acronym that stands for Coffee Uniting People, and it is a nonprofit coffee shop. Now, shops plural. the mission is to hire neurodivergent individuals to work alongside, really to employ all individuals. It started with one small coffee shop downtown, and now soon to be the sixth one that you mentioned in Wesley Chapel. I'm on the board, as is Cindy, and I'll let her say a few words.
So Cup got started about 3.5 years ago through some friends of ours that were the founders, and it started off much more, I think, as it was a great idea, but it was starting off as a small idea, maybe to start it at church and serve coffee and to be able to employ people with neurodivergence or any intellectual developmental disabilities. And it has just really taken off and grown since then. So we do have the 2 freestanding stores. And also, we've gotten into this really great niche with hospitals, which is, again, where we're going to be opening up in Wesley Chapel again soon. I am also on the board of directors. I'm the vice president of the board of directors now. And I also head up the fundraising that we do each year as a not-for-profit. Obviously, fundraising is a big part of what we do. Our mission is to employ people, not to, it's not a profit, obviously, but to keep people employed and fulfill purpose.
Amazing. Yeah, I like that. Because I was reading up on that, and I read about the hospitals, and I think that's so cool because I'm sure that's where you guys get a lot of your reach, right? And that's just the perfect place. Everyone's coming in and out all the time, so it really is perfect. So. For the hiring, how is how do you hire people? How do we, besides that, we come into the hospital, I know, but specifically, more specifically, how do you get people to, come to you guys? And has anyone been turned down for whatever reason, as in yeah.
Well, we have a general manager. Her name is Stephanie Williams, and she's really in charge of the hiring process. We have almost as many people on our waiting list as we do employed.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There's no shortage of employees. It's and everyone has a job. Even if it's just greeting, we try to hire anybody that wants to. And as we open more shops, that employment will grow. I think there's 65 employed right now.
That's amazing.
And
That's amazing.
quite a few on the waiting list.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, that was good to know. My last question I have for me here, are you all run by the same nonprofit, all the locations, or is because you are, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yes,
Okay,
Coffee
okay.
Uniting People is just one organization.
Okay.
So all of the storefronts and the hospital fronts are all run by Coffee Uniting People.
Okay, I love that. So I'm going to move on to Andre for questions that he may have. So, Andre.
Oh, yes. I have a lot of questions, but my first question is, so when you're going through the hiring process, is there any stipulations or anything that's where you be okay, we'll wait on you, or anything will you move this name to the side because let's say the person is nonverbal, how does that work?
Sure. We actually had at the very beginning someone that was nonverbal, and he communicated on his iPad.
Oh, okay, yes.
And communicated very well, I might add, on his iPad. And people customers that came in were just fascinated with it. So honestly, there really isn't anyone that would be turned away for any reason. I mean, everybody has a place. Everybody can sweep a floor, greet. Some of our employees have started greeting, and now they're working behind the register.
Oh, that's
And their parents come in and can't believe it. So
okay. So it's once so what's the ages that you start hiring? I know certain kids they learn about their disability at a later age. So it's certain stipulations that you have when it comes to that. Because I have my daughter is autistic, so that's why I'm really asking.
great.
Yeah.
That's
So that's why I
awesome.
really wanted to know.
yeah.
So do you start like a teenager or what? How's it? Or is it adult? Like
23.
23.
Okay,
Yeah.
23,
Yeah.
okay.
We're starting at 23. And also kind of going back to this is with employment is, everyone's level of disabilities are different. And we are actually getting ready to start a coffee club as well.
Okay.
So we have people that are working doing nothing now but bagging coffee, preparing for the takeoff of our coffee club, which we're very, very excited about. And that'll be hopefully launching in the next week or two. We're definitely probably going into soft launch very soon, and then moving on from there. So there is a place for everybody. So like Jane said, whether it's sweeping the floors, we have a wonderful greeter on our South Tampa shop that's just there for 1 hour every Saturday morning and like clockwork, and it's probably one of the biggest highlights of her whole week. So we try to keep a place for everybody.
Before we go on to a musical break, I wanted to ask you guys, how was it opening the first store? Like that first day when that store opened?
Well, I'll go back to how Cup got started. It was started by a couple named Greg and Laura Jones from Tampa, and they originally started Challenger Baseball, which is, are you familiar with that? In South Tampa. And as the youngsters grew up, they would see them from time to time. And the story goes that Greg was out for a run one day and thought, I'm going to open up a coffee shop for my ex-athletes. And here we are, almost 6 stores later. But the question was, it kind of was backwards the way it opened. The flagship store, which is on South Del Mabry, was getting built out, but with a lot of help from a lot of friends and a lot of contributions and a lot of people doing electricians and builders doing things at cost. And there was a coffee shop down at Embark Collective that moved out, and the interior designer that had done Embark was actually helping us with the South Tampa location, and they went to her name is Kathy Creer. They went to Kathy and said, "Do you by any chance know of a coffee shop that would like to come in our already built out beautiful place?" And she said, "Let me check." So actually, we discussed it, and it was a really good situation for Cup and them. And so actually, the little coffee shop down in on Whiting at Embark Collective actually opened before the flagship store. So it was kind of backwards.
Okay. I mean, I had the chance to go to that store. I just didn't, I'm just going to be dropping little, nuggets of that experience because I really did have a nice time. But we're going to go on a quick music break, and on the flip side, we'll continue to do this Q&A. But thank you guys for being here with us.
Thank you.
Stay tuned.
And welcome back. This is the Hawk City Bandits right here in the Bill Brown Recording Studio here in the heart of Ybor City, Tampa. And we have some wonderful guests today that came to visit us. And we're here picking their brain and asking them about CUP, which is a beautiful organization that's helping keep people employed and united, because it's a coffee uniting people, right? That's what it stands for.
Yes.
So I had the chance to go visit one of the stores, which when we were on the break was one of the ones that was the first one that opened. And as you said, it was just kind of like it turned out to be. It was just happened to be that was a store that opened first. But I did meet someone from that store, and I got to talk to MD. I'm sure you know who MD is. She's such a treat to talk to, and she was just very polite. I was able to have a full-on conversation with her, just like nobody's business. And she really does like a gory movie. She likes Five Nights at Freddy's.
my gosh.
I just. It was a very nice treat to, sit down. I had a banana bread and a matcha there. Everybody was very polite. There was a young man at the front. He was not very chatty in the beginning, kind of a little more standoffish. But he was very polite. But just to have her talking with me, and she just was like, she said, my initials, I know what you think. That stands for medical doctor, So she was literally a chatterbox, and she looks very young, but she is 24, going on 25 or 25. But we had a full-on conversation, and by the time I walked away, she was, all hugs and super friendly. And I really did enjoy that moment there. So have you had that same experience with Miss MD?
I haven't had it with her, but I know my husband was telling me a while back, he was in the South Dome Avery store, and it was a similar experience. He was in there, and he came home, and he's like, it was like he had a new best friend. He just came home and told me all about the barista and all of the stories and what she likes. And he's like, he just came home with this big, huge smile on his face. And, the coffee is amazing. The food is amazing, but the people are what you go there for. It's just such a lovely, wonderful experience. And to realize how much, again, I'll use the word a lot, but how much purpose. Everybody wants a purpose in life, and to be able to work and get out there and show what you can do, and then it builds your confidence. And it's just like every little step that we make in life kind of helps build us forward. And it's just such a blessing. Yeah.
Cynthia, you wanted to ask something?
Oh yeah, I have a question. Do you guys have a story where cup made meaningful difference in somebody's life?
Well, I think it's probably made a difference in every employee's life for sure, and their parents for sure, or their caregivers, without a doubt. I mean, some of the parents I've heard say, "Just pinch me," when it first opened, and their daughter or son was hired, and they just couldn't believe it. One of the reasons the employment starts at age 23 is there are lots of programs in high school and after high school for young adults, and then about age 23, nothing. And they call it the cliff because it's just all of a sudden there's nothing. And, parents are trying to, put their children into programs and extracurricular activities, but to actually be employed and earn a paycheck and have a reason to go to work is a whole nother ball of wax. And you were saying that just self-confidence, Cindy was referring to self-confidence. We have an employee now that drives, and he wasn't driving 3 or 4 years ago.
Wow.
And I think he just needed a little self-confidence.
Right.
So
That's amazing.
I would add on to that too. I was having a conversation with one of the parents yesterday, and it was in reference to something, an auction item from our fundraiser. And she was driving her son to work while we were talking on the phone, and he was in the background going, hey Cindy, I'm going to work. I'm going to work. And it's just like, I mean, I'm at my desk at home and my eyes are just tearing up because I could just hear the joy.
Yeah.
And then, finishing off the conversation with his mother, and just her sitting there saying, you guys are this is just everything, And it was just a regular, just conversation about something that had nothing to do with anything. But like his enthusiasm and him just wanting to just let me know he was on his way. He was on his way. And, we should all feel that great about going to work. It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was, again, just sitting at the coffee shop was very nurturing because it feels like, again, like I'm in a coffee shop in New York City. Because you feel like you're so away. It's like, it's in an area where it's kind of quiet. So you're like, wow, this is like hidden back here. I was like, I thought I almost missed it because the courthouse is there. There's so much going on the other side. But when you sit there, it's like for a moment you can forget about everything else that was happening. But just, the experience of how everybody was so willing to help. And like, as you said, everybody has a purpose. And when I did, because I had the chance to ask MD a whole bunch of questions. Like, I mean, literally, there was not a lot going on at that time. I had literally walked in as a bunch of people were walking out. So it was just her and I sitting, she was standing. Obviously, she didn't sit down because she's working. But, we were across from each other. And I asked her, I said, so what's your favorite part about working here? And she said that she liked working with her friends. So, and it does touch my heart when you say 23, because obviously my daughter's dad has a physical disability. So throughout his life, he had to deal with that. And now he is part of a company in Puerto Rico that's called Brevard Achievement. So they do hire people with physical disabilities to continue to feel, that they have a purpose. So when to have that experience here in the Tampa Bay area, like obviously it warms my heart, but to see how she was so happy just to be at work, and to tell me, like, I like hanging out with my friends. I used to work at another coffee shop, so I'm pretty sure maybe she's moved from different stores.
Yeah, they can move around.
Oh, okay, yeah.
One of the things too, I think, is for those of us who are going there as the customers, is to remember sometimes to stop and slow down. So I had a gentleman who I was talking to one day and telling him about Cup, and he was telling me that he says, oh, my wife was telling me about that. And he said they had just moved to Tampa, and, everyone's always in such a rush. And so she just saw this coffee shop and ran in, and then she was like, you're just always on the go. And then she goes, then she looked around and saw what was happening and who was serving her and whatever. And she just like took a deep breath, slowed down, and was just like, what an amazing experience, because we get caught in the race of just go. And to have a conversation like you got to have with MD, or my husband got to have with, another one of our employees, is just amazing. But also to take your time and slow down and realize that everything in life doesn't have to be so rushed, and you are making such a difference in somebody else's life. Yeah.
That's very true. Do you guys have anything else to ask before we go on another break?
I don't have anything here, Andra.
No? Okay,
right.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have some more things to say about Cup. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
welcome back. This is the Hop City Bandits right here in the Bill Brown recording studio. We're just having a little bit of fun on the, while we had that music break, just kind of chatting with our guest today, enjoying a good time, and we forgot to mention that there's actually a game coming up on the 19th of February. On the 19th of February. What month am I? 19th of April.
So basketball.
We all feel like that this year.
I know. I don't know what happened on Sunday. So who's going to be participating in this? And this is something common that you guys have done. Is it a morale builder? What do you guys get when you do these basketball?
Purpose?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's our third annual, and it's really kind of a community event. It's billed as a community event. It's family fun for all ages. Our employees are the players. We have a sort of a sister organization called the Hive, and their mission is to provide housing for individuals. They're in the process of trying to fundraise to buy some land for some individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. They sometimes come and we play against each other. We have a couple of our board members, Greg and my husband's nickname is Lumpy, and everybody calls him Lumpy. He is a coach. This year we have a guest. A lot of people don't know his real name, and I'm not kidding. He prefers Lumpy. Yeah, he doesn't have to use his last name. He's also on the board, but this year we have our guest referee is Vinny Testaverde.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. Last year it was Jane Castor, the mayor.
Oh, look at that.
And it's just a really great event. It's at 2:00 at Plant High School in South Tampa and South Del Mabry, right down the street from our second shop. And we just ask for a small donation to come in. There's no admission fee. You can bring your babies. You can bring your grandparents. Everybody has a great time. And it's at 2:00, so I hope to see y'all there.
Okay. Yeah, why not? I mean, it sounds like a really nice time. And I mean, the weather's getting really pretty out there. We're having like nice 60 in the morning degree weather, and then it goes up to 88, not too hot yet.
We'll be inside, so we
it's
don't have to
indoor.
worry about that.
Oh,
Yes,
indoor.
yes.
Okay.
Indoor auditorium.
And there's snacks.
Oh,
You can buy some snacks.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, that sounds very tempting.
And of course, coffee.
Speaking of food, I have one more question. Speaking of like the food, so I know some of your employees that they have like dietary stipulations. So how does that work? Like when they go on lunch and breaks and stuff, like do y'all provide like what they need, or do they like bring it themselves? Like how does that work?
Yeah, no, I think they would bring all their own stuff with them. In the stores ourselves, most people don't work too long of shifts.
Okay.
Probably. So they would any dietary needs they would take care of on their own. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like most of the foods that I saw, they're just pretty much like just pastries. So there's nothing really big that, like just small pastries. I mean, obviously I had the banana bread, which was pretty big for being it was a pretty big piece. Like I was like, whoa, this is large, and I feel that the price point is really good. And, comparing it to one of the, local coffee shops, you're getting a bang for your buck there. And I mean, when you said about slowing down, it's just that they want to take their time to make sure everything is right before they give it to you.
Absolutely.
So if you love that part of it, that's the place for you to go. If you want to make sure that they're asking me the questions like, do you want it warm? Do you need this? Do you need anything else? Is everything okay?
Yes.
And if you like that they just really want to go out of their way. I mean, you can see they're just so happy that someone walked through that door.
We are adding on to the food menus as well,
Okay.
especially in our the hospital locations because we serve a lot of the staff there, and so there's like chicken salad sandwiches, and so we're opening up
I
to a lot more.
see.
We keep growing and expanding, and where whatever the needs are, we're trying to fill them.
Okay, that's really nice to see.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, whatever you guys have going on in that whiting store is very pretty, and I hope it just continues to be that way. It was
Thank
very easygoing. Like I said, I just wanted to get out of there and go do something else. I mean, I had to go take care of something with my daughter, but you feel like you just want to go, just that's your pit stop right before going to the museum or going to the beach. You know, just like, let's just get something, let's slow down real quick. Wait till traffic dies down, and then you just in that store.
The
That's what it
atmosphere
feels
is
like.
very
Yes.
conducive to sitting down and enjoying your
Yeah.
cup of coffee and your company for sure.
Yeah. So I did see online that you guys have been part of the news and stuff. Is there any stories that you guys would want to share? You know, because it's very impactful to what you have created here. What everyone, even the investors, the people that stand behind you, is a very very impactful to know that something that started very small at a church has grown in 3.5 years. So, have you guys been a part of, is there a story that you want to share about being on the news?
Well, there's one in particular that kind of stands out to me. There's been so many news stories on air that y'all will one day be a part of, I think, with this group. And on the radio, there was a really large story in the Washington Post. It was probably about 2.5-ish years ago. Don't quote me exactly. And, a big, pictures and, a very long article that was very well researched. And the neat thing about the article was the writer just happened to be in Tampa and Googled coffee shops near me because he wanted a coffee. Well, he wanted a cup of coffee. Had no idea what he was walking into. And he walked into the South Del Mabry location and was like, okay, what is this? This is so cool. And he came back. I think he lived in Orlando, maybe. He came back, interviewed the employees, interviewed Greg, interviewed Stephanie, the general manager. And I think the article's on the website, so I encourage you to look at it and read it because it's great, but it's really great when you find out that he just happened upon it.
Stumbled upon it.
He just stumbled upon it. So yeah, it was heaven sent, as they say.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine like even the employees being able to be interviewed, like how excited they could have been. Feeling probably
for
like they were
sure.
famous at that moment,
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
I see Cindy laughing over here.
For sure. For sure.
Have you been part of that experience of seeing that?
Yeah, we had a couple of weeks ago, Greg and I were in the South Tampa location, and somebody had reached out to me about a group from a college down in South Florida, and they were coming up and they were wanting to do filming, and they were learning how to film and all this kind of stuff. So they came in and they did an interview with one of our employees, and it was just so fun to watch, and just like to see the smile on their faces is just like makes my heart happy.
Yeah.
So
no, I mean, I can only imagine, because for us, because we're part of the radio and television broadcast program, and that's the reason why we have this studio here. If you, I don't know if you had a chance to walk around, but we do have a television studio down the street. We actually did a dramatic piece, a courtroom drama piece, because the police get to do their trainings here, so they do have like a mock courtroom, and we were able to just use that not too long ago to do that. We had a game show a few weeks ago, kind of like one of those kind of like Jeopardy in a sense. It was really fun. Yeah, so this program offers a lot for us to do in the community. So when we first start our rite of passage here, I don't know if you had the chance to be in Ybor City, but what Ybor City is famous for, obviously cigars and the chickens. So if you come to Ybor City, you'll get a little piece of what Key West is like, because over there's a lot of chickens all around. These chickens came from Key West. There's a big long story about the chickens in Ybor City. So our rite of passage when we first come to this program is to do a news packet on the chickens.
I love it.
Yes. So and we can pick something else, but if we can't figure something out, our default is always a chicken package. So you'll see us doing a chicken package. We'll go out there. The chickens are very protected here in Ybor City. We can't feed them. We can't pet them or do anything like that, but we can surely record them. And when we go out there and we put these packets together, whether it be the chicken package or, like the packet that's happening on the 19th of April for your basketball game, we come back, we edit it, and then Marisa and the other instructors critique us. So we're learning to do everything from the beginning, like being there, introducing ourselves to who we're going to be working with, because this is kind of like you guys you're employing us for that time being, and we want to make sure that at the end you guys get to see the video and the final product, because we work very hard as students here, but again, Narisa's always on us. Like, she makes sure. That's why she made sure. She's like, we're going to have these guests that are going to come visit you guys. So everyone else has had their guests. So now we had our guests, and she's been preparing us for this time. So we really appreciate that you guys have taken the time to come here and really talk about something that's very, heartwarming. Obviously, because we don't have the community in Hillsborough College anymore. They did drop that, but it's still a community, and you guys are so close to over here. So just to be able to be part of that and be part of that next week on Sunday to see how they're going to play. So is it the Hive that they're playing against?
TBD. We might. I was talking to Coach Lumpy, and I said there may be it may be split. It may be split on each team.
Okay.
So
That sounds like a great time.
it is really fun, and everybody and it might be 80 something tomorrow afternoon or Sunday afternoon, and it is inside, as Cindy said, and it's cute. It's really great. And we're excited about Vinny Testaverde.
That is, when you said it, I was like,
Yeah.
what? I haven't heard that name in years.
I know. Well, I think he came to our fundraiser a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So, yeah. It'll be a lot of fun. I hope y'all can come.
So I saw
sure.
there are a lot of names of people who actually are part of this, making sure that this organization keeps growing, like to include even the Tampa Bay Rays. So how do you guys knock on those doors to get those investors to, how did it all come to be? Because I feel like a lot of times is that you don't have to know everybody, you just have to know somebody. So
I think going back to what you're talking about, community. I think community is very, very important, and we are a community-based organization, and that's where we're starting from, and where we keep getting pulled in different directions of people that want us to grow further. We're trying to really get our bearings here in our community first. And big shout out, first of all, to Brisk Coffee, who is our coffee supplier, Denise Reddick. It is a long-standing coffee organization from Tampa, long history here. And it's been people in the community that have given us that. So it's this person knows this person, and because we have all been from the Tampa Bay community for so long, we get to kind of reach out all those little fingers. But
I mean, I even saw from even New York, people that are are part of this from New York. So it's like they're reaching out. We
CUP is a nonprofit that runs solely on donations, and we now have a new young lady that's helping us with grant writing. It's a full-time job, going after the Rays, foundations, companies like that. We have a lot of personal contributions. As they say in the business, we're always closing. So the best way you can help CUP is coming to the coffee shop. If you feel the urge to donate, even better. Just getting the word out. Like you said, maybe just in Ybor City with the students.
Yeah, do you ever think that y'all will branch out like to other states? Do you think it will ever get to that point?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I will say I can't see it not happening. We've been being pulled, and it's really on our thing of we've been holding back. We need to. It's been such a meteoric rise. We need to get our grounding and make sure that we're prepared for that. So right now, our focus is on our community and really more the counties, stretching out into our own counties, into Polk County, going to Lakeland, going into Pinellas County, things like that. But I do see that in the future. We've had a lot of people from different states and things reaching out to us.
Because of just hearing about it, like it's not just Florida.
No.
It's all over the world. So
it's needed.
Possible.
We all know it's
Yes.
needed everywhere. And
So right now it's just in Hillsborough County.
Hillsborough, yes.
So
Yes.
what's the next county that you guys are looking at?
Pinellas. Yeah, we've got some stuff.
Okay.
Kind of. We're
No, because that's that's going to be
Yeah.
my new county.
We're in the works,
In
and
November,
we actually have so many. I think I want to say it may be like 28 employees that are ready, that are trained and ready to roll already, that live in the Pinellas County area. So that is a big thing for us. But we really needed to stop and take a step back and just kind of get our bearings
because
it's been
everything is great.
Absolutely, you don't want to go out there without knowing what you're doing and being prepared for it and making sure that not only our neurodivergent staff but neurotypical, we have to have people have got to be trained and knowing how to deal with just all of the different things. And then, of course, you're running a coffee shop behind that. So there's, product and all of those things that need to be taken into account for. So we want to be very strategic and, and thoughtful about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, we're going to go on one more break, and then we're going to say our goodbyes. Not that we want you guys to go, because we've been having a lot of fun here, but we know that you guys have things to do, and we appreciate this time that you've taken. So we're just going to take one more music break, and on the flip side, we'll say our goodbyes. So stay tuned.
Thank you.
back here. The Hawk City Bandits, we're at the end of our show. We're so happy and sad to see you guys go, but we know we're not, that we've created this connection, because that's what broadcasting does. It, we reach out to the communities who's out there that wants to kind of give us a little bit of what they're doing for the community, because that's what the Hawk City Bandits like to do. But we appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Again, we're going to have Ashton on the 19th of April at Plant City High School with the employees from CUP. Is it Plant?
Plant High School,
Oh,
South
Plant.
Maywood.
I keep on saying Plant City.
There is a
Plant
Plant
High-
City. Yeah.
Yes, there is. Plant High School. My apologies. Right around the corner, not too far from us. Yes. So any last words before we let you guys go for the day?
We just thank you so much for having us on the show and supporting CUP. It's just such a great organization, and we hope that everybody comes and checks out the stores, our shops, and see what it's about. Introduce yourself to the employees there. They're all wonderful, and we just appreciate the support.
Yeah, I'm going to echo that. Thank you for having us today. This has been so much fun. And thank you for coming to the basketball game on Sunday at HB Plant High School at 2 o'clock, Sunday the 19th.
Yeah,
We really appreciate it. Thank you so much for having us. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
I
again.
learned a lot.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So we'll be back. Well, I mean, at least I'll be back to have some more banana bread and, chill with MD.
CMD.
Medical doctor. She has such a beautiful smile. And, she was, again, like kind of talking about her teeth and stuff. And she actually has gone to the dentist and gotten some impressions done. Sometimes even as it doesn't matter whether it's neurodivergent or just having nothing that's kind of challenging you to continue to get a job. But we all have our little situations. But to see it, I'm like, no, you have such beautiful, like her teeth were so beautiful, clean, and she just was smiles. And she's like, I went and got some impressions because my friends, I guess maybe her friends were kind of teasing her. But, she was very willing. And she said, and the dentist told her to calm down, that everything was going to be fine. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that if she does get braces, she's going to rock them because she's already taking care of herself. But she was like, no, I don't like my teeth. And I said, they're so cute. They're so clean. Look at you, smile. And I guess that just made her shy. And when people talk with their eyes, like she was just doing all that day. So, I mean, I really had a nice time. And I hope I can make it on Sunday to see how the game goes. But definitely I'm going to go back to that store and say hi to MD again.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
I hope you guys have a wonderful time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And we'll see you guys next
See you
week.
next week, guys.
Take care. Bye.